I feel like I'm booming. We're good? Ready? All right, test. This is really loud. Is there any way we could, wow, that's nice, yeah. That was really fast. Thanks, Reverend Becker. All right, you ready? All right. Hello, everyone. Welcome back from fall break. It's good to see you all again. Campus Council is now in session. We're going to begin with the roll call. Administrative Coordinator Hill. Here. President White. Here. VP AA Gelnerova. VP SA Epps. Treasurer Steckel. Here. Assistant Treasurer Shake. Here. Ace Chair Handel. Ace Chair Mystic. Yes. Services Coordinator Porter. Constance Chair Jarzina. Here. Diversity and Outreach Coordinator Bogus. Senator Bolster. Senator Ercolani. Here. Senator Stallings. Here. Senator Schweitzer.
Here.
Senator Farran. Here. Senator Hamilton. Here. Senator Doudna. Here. Senator Toombu. Here. Senator Rogan. Here. Senator Ochoa. Here. Senator Marwa. Here. Senator Taylor. Here. Senator Brindle. Senator Antonisi. Senator Feldberg-Bannatyne. Here. Senator Samra. Here. Senator Rabelski. Here. Senator Gundocha. Here. Delegate Musakela. No. Delegate Boki. Here. Delegate Brenhofer. Delegate Gustafson. Delegate Tanamoto. Delegate Ruiz. Delegate Luba. Delegate Niederman. Delegate Luther. Technical Advisor Becker. Here. ACES Coordinator, or ACES Co-Director Coleman. Green Fund Co-Chair Magdalena. All right, thank you all. With that, we'll be moving on to the next item, which is public comments, announcements, and any additional events. If anybody has anything they'd like to address the council for, you can just raise your hand and I'll call on you. Yes.
Okay.
Reverend Becker.
All right, cool. This Saturday from 11:30 to 1 o'clock, outside the Bear, between the Bear and the Natatorium, there will be a tailgate for the football team. So come through. I don't know if Tim Brenhofer is here or Hannah, but we've been working on that together. We'll have vegan options, gluten-free options, burgers, brats, music, yard games provided by Student Affairs. Student Affairs is behind it, weekends behind it. Should be lots of fun. Come out and support your fellow student athletes.
Are there any other comments? Yes, Senator Ercolani.
All right, here we are. So, the Union of Grinnell Student Workers is expanding, and if you do any work on campus, I highly suggest that you attend our next meeting, ARH 120 at 3 p.m. This Saturday. We will have food and music and letter writing to Congress, and specifically for the people in this room, until we will be assigning union rep positions per department, and until then, I am a union rep for SGA, so if you have any problems, contact me.
Did you say ARH 120 at what time?
ARH 120 at 3 p.m. on Saturday.
3 p.m. on Saturday.
Hey,
all right,
question.
Yes. Could we get a mic to the back, please?
Hey. Hi, everyone. I'm Morgan, for those of you who don't know me. I just wanted to let you guys know that starting next week on Monday, Grinnell Student Resistance is going to be starting a visual escalation for the divestment campaign. So that's leading up to a larger day of action happening a week after that on November 6th. But every day has a theme. The first day is coal. The next is oil and natural gas. Third day is natural disasters. The fourth day is the disproportionate effects of climate change. And the last day is how climate change impacts me. So we're going to be reflecting a lot about divestment and throughout the week. You'll see a lot of stuff going on. It'll be like literally everywhere. So talk to people about it. And also, I encourage you to go to whatever you can on Monday, November 6th. It's going to be similar to March 1st for those of you who are able to attend that. Are in the Grill with music, then community conversations, various experts and people who have a lot of interesting things to say about divestment from a different perspective than the task force. We'll be able to listen to them, and then we'll have a rally and some actions following that. So keep your eyes peeled, and there's a budget coming up later for that, so keep in mind 6 days of stuff is happening, which I'm excited about.
Yes, Senator Schweitzer.
This is just, again, my first session reminder to try to speak clearly into the mic. I'm hard of hearing. I cannot hear when people talk really fast or do not speak directly into the mic. Yeah, thanks.
Yes, Assistant Treasurer Shake.
Admissions is looking for female hosts for female prospies. I'm gonna send out this paper. If you guys want to host someone, please sign up. What did I say? Prospective students. Yeah, and off-campus can host. Thanks.
Delegate Bulkey.
Could you pass it?
Hello. The SMB will be hiring soon. Within the next week or so, you all should see applications in your inboxes. If you want to check it out before then, we'll be having meetings this Sunday at 3 for writers and 3:30 for photographers. Please come by.
Yes, can we get a mic to the back, please?
I know it's the first point under events, but tomorrow in Bob's, there'll be pub quiz with alumni sponsored by SAC, so Student Alumni Council. From 8 to 9:30, there'll be over 100 alumni on campus this weekend for Fall Volunteer Weekend. So come talk to alumni. They're really cool. Please show up. There'll be food too, I promise.
Senator Rabelski.
This Sunday at 2 p.m. in Sebring Lewis Hall inside of Bucksbaum Center for the Arts, there's a Grinnell Singers concert. Be great live music, some of which was written by our own director, John Romerheim. Please come by.
President White.
This is an announcement that for going forward, anyone who knows of these kind of events in advance can send them to Max when he sends out the email about like, hey, you have any events, announcements, yada, yada, yada. So that can go in the agenda so we can spend less time doing these announcements. And so it's easier like recorded for people already.
Technical Advisor Becker.
I got one more announcement. VR Club, which is funded by SGA 2 years ago, is having its first meeting this week, which is pretty exciting. Only took 2 years. But from 8 to 9 in the D Lab, they built us a space, so we have a space. Come do virtual reality. It's pretty cool. I got a bunch of games. But we're also gonna be doing some educational content. And then one other thing, Warren's announcement reminded me, this is the first time we'll be recording Campus Council. And so in addition to speaking into the microphones, it's very essential that you speak clearly, because then we will use the YouTube captioning software so that people with like hearing or auditory disabilities can see captions and understand what is going on at events like this that may not be accessible for those people. So be sure to speak directly into the microphone and clearly. So that's all I got.
Further comments, announcements, or events? Senator Eric Olani.
Also, this Saturday from 9 p.m. to midnight, Art House will be hosting our functionally at this point annual haunted house. It's going to be a good way to like get in the spirit of the Halloween and fall, and so I highly encourage you to attend. Costumes are welcome.
Senator Schweitzer.
What day was VR Club?
Sorry. VR Club is Sunday, 8 to 9 p.m. in the D Lab, which is inside the forum. Any
further comments, announcements, or events? All right, seeing none further, we'll be moving on to the third item on the agenda, which is the approval of the minutes. Do I see a second for the approval of the minutes? Mr. Welch. All right, and with that, if you could all use your clickers, make sure that they are turned on. So we're missing how many?
Point of information. Yeah. I know not everyone's on there. It's going to refresh in like 2 seconds. Or 8 seconds.
We were only missing 3, so this should be 16.
Oh, okay, we'll scroll down. Sorry. Dope. All right.
Sandwich whites. You want another one?
Are you missing the other 3, I think?
The other 3 are gone. Anthony, Bolster, and Grinnell, right? Yeah. All right, so with that, we are going to open the polls starting in 1 second. Starting now. So A is to be in favor of the approval of the minutes, B is to be opposed, and C is abstaining. What? 16. Big approval. What? We used them a little bit last year. Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah, I mean, yeah, we can do it. Are we got 16? We need one more vote. A is to be in favor, B is to be opposed, and C is abstaining. If you could all give it one more try. All right. And with that, the minutes are approved unanimously. And with that, we'll be moving on to the budgets from the All-Campus Events Committee. I will turn it over to the All-Campus Events Co-Chair Mystic for this. Oh, we have one motion before, actually. Yes, Senator Rebelski.
Sorry. I'd like to motion to adjourn at 9:30.
So with a motion to time to adjourn, this is not debatable. A time to adjourn at 9:30 is the motion presented. Do I see a second? Yes, Senator Hamilton. All right, and with this, we will be voting once again. So that is the motion to time to adjourn set for 9:30. This just requires a majority vote. So with that, all right, A is to be in favor, B is to be opposed, and C is abstaining from the time to adjourn set at 9:30.
Point of information. The magic number is 16, so just make sure you vote until that number says 16.
A is to be in favor, B is abstaining, or sorry, B is opposed, and C is abstaining. For a motion to set the time to adjourn at 9:30. If you could all just make sure you voted one more time. Got it.
Yours is my color, and then mine is the nail color.
It's just like this.
All right, and with that, the motion passes, so our time to adjourn is set to be at 9:30 p.m. So with that, we'll be moving back on to the matter of the fourth item on the agenda, which is the budgets from all campus events.
Okay, so we have 3 budgets that we need to pass. I guess the first one we can do is Shovember. Shovember? You got it?
How's it going, y'all? I'm Justin.
I'm Jacob.
We're from Freesound. Shovember is the most fun night of the year for us and our organization and lots of other people. Basically, it is the annual student music showcase that our organization puts on. It's been really successful in the past. This is food for the evening. This is a little bit more than what our budget was last year. Last year we ran out pretty early. What we do is we stagger the times at which food is released by the hour. The event is going to start at 6 p.m. And will probably go until 1 or so. Last year we had a number, like a much fewer acts than we will this year, and it went about 7 hours. So this is our food budget. What do you?
Yeah, so I guess this food budget is going to also be necessary for wellness purposes. We plan on having an alcohol contract for our event. Yeah, and this event, I guess the main focus of this event really is the performers. This is a really big night for all of our on-campus musicians. This is a great opportunity for them to perform in front of a crowd. Also, we take pride in the fact that this is an entirely student-run event. We also have food services catered by Rob's Underground, which is a student-run food service that's popped up this year. Something else you might say?
Oh, please tell your constituents to email Freesound about if they want to play, whether or not they want to play music. We're still accepting registrations. It's really fun. It's low stakes. Sets are about 15 minutes. It's going to take place November 10th, which is a Friday evening, in Gardner Lounge. So both tell them to come to the event and to play at the event if they would be interested.
Yeah, and I do have one last thing. This event is also, it's our biggest event of the semester, and it's really big for visibility in terms of our organization. We're always trying to look for new members that can provide more sound services like we do for a lot of on-campus events. So again, this is very crucial to helping us grow our organization and boost the amount of services that we can provide. Cool. So, thank you.
Yeah, questions? Do you have any questions? Anyone?
Senator Aquilani, could you just get past this one?
I have a two-part question. First, is this a budget appeal? Or is this just being brought to campus council? And if it is the second, yeah, this is a question more for ACE Chair Mystic.
Okay, so we had approved $1,000 for this, and we had them redo the budget, and so they redid the budget to even less than that. So that's why it's here, but we still need you guys' approval.
Yeah, for less than 1,000.
Sorry, what? What did you say?
Why is the approval being required for a budget less than $1,000? Is it just because that it wasn't approved by committee because it was above $1,000 at that point?
Yeah, so at first it was for above $1,000, and then it was reduced when they did the budget again. And so I'm now seeing that it's $800. This is the first time I'm seeing it. It's $800. Yeah. And
I see. Campus Events Committee did not vote on on this amount. So this is coming to campus council.
VPSA EPS?
Motion to previous question.
I see a motion to previous question. Do I see a second? Senator Logan? All right, all those in favor of moving to the previous question, please will raise your hands now. I see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 in favor. All those opposed, please raise your hands now. And all those abstaining, please raise your hands now. All right, could I see all the approvals one more time? Never mind, actually, never mind. Thank you all. So with that, that passes, so we'll be moving into the previous question, which is a vote on the funding of $825.79 for Shovember. With that, we'll be moving over to the clickers, and the poll is now open. So A is to be in favor of funding Shovember for $825.79. B is to be opposed, and C is abstaining. And that passes with 16 votes. So Shovember has been granted $825.79. Thank you very much. All right. And with that, we'll go back to Ace Chair Mystic for further all-campus events budgets.
Okay, and the next budget that will be presented is for local foods Thanksgiving, $1,300, for $1,300. Where's the person?
Hi, I'm Maida and Chris and Nate, and we are 3 of the 4 students who are working on planning the local foods Thanksgiving for this year, which is an event that happens the Sunday before Thanksgiving in the main quad, where we serve locally grown and produced food to students, and we've really made a push in the past few years to get community members involved, and especially community members who may not otherwise be able to have a Thanksgiving meal.
Could you please tell us all 3 your first and last names one more time for the minutes?
Meta Williams, M-E-T-A.
Christopher Brunet, B-R-U-N-E-T.
Nate Crail, C-R-A-I-L.
Thank you all. And do we see any questions? Yes, Assistant Treasurer Shake. Could we pass a mic to the Assistant Treasurer, please?
What did your budget look like last year?
Last year it was for a comparable amount. To be honest, we submitted the same budget from last year, which gave us what we needed.
VPSA Epps.
Motion to previous question.
I see a motion to previous question. Do I see a second? Senator Ercolani. And so with that, all those in favor of moving to the previous question, please raise your hands now.
Point of information. Just wondering why you're buying yeast by 4 ounces instead of at a 2-pound bag, which is cheaper and better for the environment.
Can you repeat the question?
Is there a reason you're buying yeast in 4 ounces instead of 2-pound increments?
This was just, we have to get some stuff from groceries. A lot of this pricing is due to the fact that we can't always anticipate what the local producers will have, so we have to put down grocery store prices on the
Okay,
budget.
wait, point of information, that's not a point of information.
Yeah, so with that, we are in fact going to keep on moving on, but thank you for providing the answer to that. But with that, we will continue to vote on the motion to previous question. So all those in favor of moving to the previous question, please raise your hands now. I see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. All those opposed, please raise your hands now. 1, 2, 3. All those abstaining, please raise your hands now. 1, 2. All right, thank you all very much. With that, we will be moving on to the previous question. So with that, we will be moving to the clickers once again. So this is a motion to approve a budget of $1,374.98 to the local foods Thanksgiving. So with that, all those in favor, please press A. Those opposed, B. And if you're abstaining, C. Budget of $1,374.98 for local foods Thanksgiving. All right. So thank you all very much. With that, that does pass. So we are giving $1,374.98 to the local foods Thanksgiving. Thank you all for coming. And with that, we'll go back to Ace Co-Chair Mystic.
The next budget is for Divestment Week of Action. Morgan. But 1 second. I'm going to explain why we're presenting this budget also, because it is less than $1,000. So this is a particularly extraordinary case in the sense that we wouldn't normally let a budget less than this present, but
yeah. So at the discretion of ACE co-chairs, in extraordinary events, campus council votes can supersede that of committee. This is totally legit. If you have further questions, we can explain exactly why this is an extraordinary circumstance.
I can say a little bit about why we're presenting it now, if people would like. So The reason that this is coming here today is because we have to order a couple of really, really essential things online in order for us to have enough time to execute this. So we had a meeting today with Michael Sims, which, as you know, is always hard to schedule, and we were able to finalize all of the supplies that we had at 4 p.m., and we made a budget immediately after that and sent it to see if we could get the stickers. It's the stickers and the button supplies that are the most important for us to get ordered, because it is starting on Monday. So if we could get this approved today, that would be really awesome.
VPSA EPS.
Motion to approve this question.
All right, I see a motion to approve this question. Do I see a second? Senator Feldberg-Manatine. And all those in favor of moving to previous question, please raise your hands now. I see 1, 2. Could I have the hands up high, please? I would really appreciate that. 1, 2, 3. All right. 3 in favor, 4 in favor. All those opposed, please raise your hands now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All those abstaining, please raise your hands now. I see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All right, and with that, we do not move to the previous question. So, Senator Ercolani.
Can I just ask that AC Hill provide us with this budget after campus council or at some point in the future, so that way we have this for our records when we send out mini minutes, please?
I can, yeah, sorry, that was our bad, that it was a miscommunication. The budget was just accidentally left out.
Great.
But we will send it.
Wait, it was my understanding that they sent the budget at 4 p.m. today, correct, Morgan? Oh, yeah, you guys sent that 4 p.m. That's why it was not in the agenda. And so it's emergency. They need to purchase the thing. So I suggest that we go ahead and let them purchase the things that they need.
Any further comments? Yes, President White.
Why was this not, presented to the ACE committee? Or what was the cause of that delay?
Senator Feldberg-Manatine.
So this wasn't presented because we had fall break, right? So ACE committee wasn't meeting on Sunday, I believe. It did meet? Okay. Then no, it was actually because our meeting with Michael Sims. I mean, he's the finalized stuff. So we had a rough budget, which I guess we could have presented then, but we needed to make sure everything that we were purchasing could be approved and was okayed by the guy who runs the space in the JRC, so we could have the art projects going, so we know we wouldn't be wasting the school's funds onto the project that would then get canceled, if that makes sense.
Yeah, Michael Sims, we needed his approval for every single thing that we're doing inside of the JRC. So we didn't know until this afternoon exactly what supplies we needed. Like, for example, the poster, the foam board, we didn't know we needed that because we're not allowed to stick stuff onto the wood, so we're creating a backdrop. So that's why it wasn't presented.
Treasurer Steckel, please.
Additionally, ACE committee consisted of me and the ACE co-chairs that meeting. So it really, it wouldn't have been any more democratic for them to attend first, since there was no extra representation present.
Senator Rebelski.
I was just wondering if you could tell me, what are the black rocks that are $25 each?
Could we pass a mic over? Thank you.
Those are not, it's not a black rock, it's $25. It's a bag of 20 pounds of rocks. So it's part of the coal day. They're representing pieces of coal, and they'll be placed strategically around campus with different facts about our investment in the coal industry and the impacts that it has on real people, because I think we're removed from those experiences oftentimes, so we're trying to disrupt, our regular way, with rocks, piles of rocks.
President White, could we pass the mic over to President White, please?
Yeah.
Yeah, so could you pass down the mic down to President White, please? We'll pass it down momentarily.
Thank you. It's just a lot easier for the presenter to hold the mic. Can you explain the use of the stickers?
Yes, so we have a couple really awesome graphics that Evan here made, and so it's about visibility, and like it's part of how we build momentum and outreach for a campaign, is to have like visual indicators that we can refer to and people can stick on their backpacks, on their laptops, whatever you want. So we have one that's the Grinnell logo dripping in oil, and there's another that it has, it's like the Grinnell thing, and it has like divest written across it, and the same prints will be going into the buttons.
Senator Schweitzer?
So you mentioned that there are going to be black rocks placed around campus. How will you make sure that they won't get in the way of anything for accessibility reasons?
Yes, absolutely. So that's part of the reason that we met with Michael Sims and have been talking about accessibility this entire time, of to making sure that we're not being wasteful in what we do need for this. So we're reusing the paper of that we're buying for different projects throughout the week, and we'll be making sure. So they'll be around near doors of academic buildings, but will not be in any way impairing the path that one would need, or visual. Like we talked a lot about eye level things, so we can't visually impair people's walking space, but we have talked to many people about that, yes.
Senator Doudna? Could we pass a mic to Senator Doudna, please? Thank you.
Motion to previous question.
Motion to previous question. Do I see a second? Senator Logan? All those in favor, if you could please raise your hands now in favor of moving to the previous question. I see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. All those opposed, please raise your hands now. A point of order, yes. Could we get a mic for a point of order?
I'm actually not sure if this is a point of order, but it says that you need 10 foam poster boards and price for each foam board is 6. That should be 60 and not 40. So you probably need more money.
No, they're packs, sorry. We calculated it. We might have just not changed the number, but that's the amount of money we need.
Fair enough.
Thank you.
Thank you, though. But could I see all those opposed, please, to moving to the previous question? All those opposed, please raise your hands now. None. All right. All those abstaining, please raise your hands now. I see 1, 2. You're missing one. I'm assuming that's 3, and all right. 4, thank you. All right, so with that, we'll be moving to the previous question. We'll be using the clickers once again. So this is a motion to approve $490. $490. All those in favor, please press A. Opposed, please press B. And if you are abstaining, please press C. One more. All right, what is that? 13-1. All right. All right, with that, the motion passes and $490 is approved. Thank you all very much. And with that, we'll go to anything further from the ACE Chair Mystic.
That's it. Those are all the budgets.
All right. Is there any other questions about the all-campus events budgets? Seeing none further, we'll be moving on to the next item on the agenda, which is a discussion topic on the Big Belly trash compactors led by Technical Advisor Reverend Miles Becker.
All right, cool. So there are actually 2 discussion topics that were tabled from the previous campus council. I'm not sure how we're going to tackle that. We'll start with this one. The Big Belly project was something that Isabella and I started last year after spring break. All the Regent schools in Iowa have them. I was in California and saw a bunch of schools that my friends were at up and down the coast, and they all have them. So we brought that back here, met with Green Fund. Green Fund gave us a lot of their budget. They gave us $9,000. Eco Campus gave us $3,000, and FM matched us with the final $1,000 so we could get the 2 bins that are currently outside the JRC. Just a few quick points on that. Each bin has both a trash bin as well as a single stream recycling bin. This is the first time we'll have single stream recycling outside, which is pretty great because currently we only have it in dorms and academic buildings. And each trash can, as a trash compactor, can compact down the amount of trash that is in each bin. The ones out there right now are 10 gallons. The ones that we have that like can compact up to 55 gallons, which means FM has to do like 1/5 of the trips they normally have to do to collect, and then 1/5 less of the trips they have to do all the way out to the landfill and back, which is like a 20-mile round trip. So it cuts down on emissions, which is pretty great. And so the big point of bringing it forward is making sure that everyone knows that they're there and uses them. This is a pilot project, so we want to prove that it's applicable for FM, because as they go through the campus remodeling phase over the next 2 years, they're going to be replacing the trash bins anyway. And so if we're just going to replace them with other trash bins that are just like not eco-friendly, I'd prefer that we invest and make them eco-friendly and kind of catch us up with, I don't know, Oberlin has them. I can't remember who else we looked at. But like a lot of similar colleges have them, as well, like peer institutions, as well as like the Regent State schools. So yeah, so I don't know if anyone has any questions about this. This was an initiative that was mainly funded by Green Fund, so I figured I'd bring it up here. Also a chance for you guys all to reach out in your mini minutes to let your residents or constituents know about them. Yeah, I think our goal with me, Isabella, and the Green Fund co-chairs is to kind of disperse these out across campus and roll out fully, hopefully, in the coming semesters. But yeah.
Are there any discussion points, comments, questions, concerns? Yes, Senator Farron.
How many bins are there on campus currently, and are you planning on adding more around the campus?
So yeah, so currently we have 2 double stations, a double station being a trash compactor and a single stream receptacle. And so the first one is stationed directly outside the GRC and was kind of placed with the intention of capturing traffic from east and south campus, as well as from Noyce into the GRC. Because currently there are 2 doors outside the GRC that face south and 2 doors outside Noyce that face north. So hopefully with the placement of that one trash bin and recycling bin, we can kind of eliminate 4 other trash cans, which also makes FM's life better. So that's the current setup. The other one is over by the train tracks by East Campus. As far as rolling them out, we have now, as SGA, have invested $9,000 in this in a pilot project, which is great. But like we as SGA should not have to be funding any more of these trash cans. The goal is to we've taken the initiative to prove that we're in the process of proving that these are, a viable replacement to the trash cans we have. And so Isabella and I will be meeting with either Rick Whitney or whoever's in charge of the landscape development project over the next couple of years to see what they want to see in this project in order to make it fair for them. The next step would be to have someone from the company come out and evaluate our current trash setup and determine where best to place the trash cans moving forward so that we can be as efficient with our trash collection as possible. So hopefully FM's on the train. We'll have to meet with them, but that's the plan moving forward.
Any further comments, discussion points, questions or concerns? All right, seeing no further, we'll be moving on to the next item on the agenda, which is on the Tech Committee, also by Technical Advisor Reverend Becker.
Cool. So this one I'm super excited about. This is more related to me as the tech advisor and less just me as a student. This is the first year that we've had a technology committee. I wish I had notes on here. They're in my email somewhere, but I don't want to dig up my email right now. But so a few of the projects we've been looking at doing, we began with Max's student initiative from last year with getting Grammarly pushed through, which is still in the process, but has been a pretty great stepping stone for us in determining what student ideas we can push forward to ITS and what collaboration will look like with them. So we can get that on the ground floor. We don't have to make people sign up for stuff or put their signatures down on things and vote for things. But some of the other cool stuff we're doing, we're working with the people who run DB to get pronouns on DB. We want to get CAs highlighted on DB. We've been working to make sure that we can make Campus Council accessible to those with specific disabilities, such as streaming Campus Council or recording it with captions. We're looking at revamping some of the computer labs in dorms, the ones that are particularly musty, have crappy chairs, and aren't really conducive to studying. We are, we're looking at updating TVs in dorm lounges, namely East Campus, who has not had new TVs since 2003. We're looking at, what is the other? 2 things we've already done successfully. Room inventory forms that you have to fill out when you first move into your room. Those will now be digital. We'll save paper. And then we have also, as of fall break, Quinn, who sits on the committee, sat in on a meeting regarding digitizing room draw. and Addison Gould, who also sits on the committee, and I sat in on 2 other meetings over fall break to digitize room draw. So officially, this is the last year that room draw will be held in Harris and not digitally. So the next year will be a digital room draw, and that's kind of like one of the cool projects we've had of the committee. And the last thing we've been working on is bettering printing, because I know printing really, really sucks. And so, do you have a point of information? Okay. And so printing is something we've been working on as well. And so making sure that's better in a variety of ways, because I know it kind of sucks. But one of the things that we're really excited about is currently if you want to print to a specific printer, say like Scilab, Scilib, or Dur, or Burling, you have to add that printer specifically to your computer. Starting hopefully post-Thanksgiving, you only have to add a single printer and then can release that print at any print station on campus, which is pretty great. And then another thing we've done, sorry, this is a discussion topic because I got a lot of stuff to say. A lot of schools, a lot of peer institutions, including University of Northern Iowa, Iowa State University, and Iowa, who also have the trash cans, have a system that lets you log in on a computer and see what laundry, like washing machines or dryers are being used. So you can help like efficiently time what time you do your laundry. So you can also get SMS notifications when either your laundry or someone else's laundry is done, so you can go switch yours or put yours in accordingly. Again, a lot of other peer institutions have this. We don't have this, and it's something that we've been working closely with Dave Robinson, the CIO and head of ITS, to hopefully get installed in the not so distant future. So I don't know, I just laid a bunch of things on you guys. If you have any questions, I'm happy to answer them.
Are there any questions or discussion points about the tech committee? Yes, President White.
Yeah, I just wanted to commend Miles for putting in the work on this and being innovative, doing something new, and being really productive, addressing a lot of needs that students have. So thank you.
Thank you. Any other further comments? Yes, Senator Schweitzer.
So you said that room draw will be digitized. When will that be, this academic year or next academic year?
So we just, the short story is it will be next academic year. So like in the final months of 2019's time here, as 2020 selects their final room, that's when it'll be. This year will still be held in Harris, but this will be the last time it'll be held in Harris. And one of the things we're looking pretty close, this will kind of tie in with getting pronouns on DB because it's integration with the colleague system, which holds everyone's assets as students. But again, this is like, there would be specific paths for those with screen readers or accessibility issues that is also being taken into account. But yeah, so that'll be next year. This year will still be in here, but that'll be the last time.
Further comments, questions? All right, seeing none further, we'll be moving on to the next item on the agenda, which is the Cavanaugh report from President White. All right, are there any questions for President White? Nope. All right, seeing none further, we'll be moving on to the next item on the agenda, which is a cabinet report from the Assistant Treasurer. Assistant Treasurer Sheikh?
Yeah.
I just didn't want to add anything to my first report, which was prior to fall break, but I would like to highlight some things from my most recent report. Okay, that's okay. Is that okay?
Of course, yeah, my
All right.
apologies.
Did anyone have any questions on the work I did before fall break? During or since fall break? Okay, so some things I just wanted to point out, that I'm looking for at least 2 more students to introduce speakers during the dialogue held by the Task Force on Fossil Fuel Divestment and Climate Impact. So this is a really good public speaking opportunity. You can talk to some other senators. Raise your hand if you've done this before, and it was a good time. Henry did it too, he's not here right now. So let me know, or if you know of anyone who you think might be interested, please let me know. Any student can do this. Yeah, anyone can do it. And then I'm also looking for another student or 2 to serve on the panel. So this is going to be a panel of students that will be talking about their own experiences with environmental things and impact from a bunch of different angles. So if you or you know of anyone who is interested in serving on a student panel, this is a sponsored part of the task force's dialogues, please let me know as soon as possible.
Any questions? All right, seeing none, we will now be moving on to the cabinet report from Assistant Treasurer Sheikh.
Hey, so me and Zach interviewed 2 candidates for the new vice president position for finance and treasurer of the college. When the trustees were here, we went to the finance committee and the audit and assessment committee. That was pretty cool. We've also been meeting regularly with Kate Walker, who is like the current VP Finance and Treasurer of the college. Yeah, and a bunch of other stuff. Me and Claire held Green Fund Committee a couple of times. Moving on, I wanted to talk about the spending update that Senator Evan requested today. Hey, Miles, could you pull that up, please? Oh, okay, sorry. Yeah, so SGA's been spending. We're running out of money faster this semester. As you can see, ACE has spent a lot of its budget. It's 77% of it is almost done. It's allocated that money, but what's been spent is almost 40%. And yeah, SPC is up to 66.3%, which means that that money has been allocated but not yet spent. The one that's spent is 38.5%. Yeah, and for services, 46% of it is allocated, 26% of it has been spent. Yeah, do you guys have any questions about the spending update?
Do you want to call on people, Assistant Treasurer Sheikh, or should I?
Senator Logan.
Can we get a mic to Senator Logan, please? We got one coming. Thank you.
Like, I see the numbers, but it doesn't mean much to me. Is this a good thing? I remember you guys talking about how in the past people haven't asked for money when they should have, or are we being reckless?
So this means that like money is being used more efficiently this semester. Like more people are coming, requesting more funds. And like if you go down as compared to previous years, like more of the money that's been allocated is being spent, which is also a good thing. Like people are spending the money, they're like turning in their receipts. What the treasurer's office has been doing for the past couple of years is trying to like make our instructions for submitting receipts or getting reimbursed clearer. So that's a good thing. People are spending their money. Yeah. But like also shows that we're in sort of a crunch money-wise. Like we don't have that much, and we're like more people are coming for SGA for money. Does that answer your question? Okay.
Further questions? Yes, VPSA EPS. Is there another mic somewhere on this side of the room?
So a couple. So the first one is, this is only for this semester.
Yes, this is up to, I did this yesterday, so 24th October.
No, I'm saying this is the budget for only this semester, not the budget for the whole year.
Yeah, this is only fall 2017.
The second thing is, it seems like the money that they've already spent seems low to me.
That they've already spent?
Yeah, we're halfway through and like the...
So the reason for that is that a bunch of receipts got reimbursed during fall break, and that has not been processed yet by accounting.
Okay.
It'll show up on our records as soon as those are processed. Is that
Additionally, if you scroll down and look at how it's been in previous years at this point, thanks, Miles. You can see that the percentage of budget spent is actually way lower in prior years, and that's because individuals didn't turn in their receipts on time during, I think this year and last year. Each year there's sort of an increase in that percentage, and that's due to SGA's efforts and students' efforts to like actually get things in, which is great. Yeah, so like in 2015, that's just like, yeah, it's completely different now. Sort of.
Right. Services Coordinator Porter.
I would just like to say, wow, look at services go. It's really going to fuse this semester, and I'm proud. Look at that. Look at that. F15, only 29.3%. 8.6% actually spent. We're doing good. Okay.
VPSA EPS.
So in y'all's professional opinion, are we all right? Are we all good?
We're all right for SBC and services. I think we'll run out of money for A's.
I think we're fine right now.
Good.
Yes.
Services Coordinator Porter.
Do you think the food rule we talked about prior to spring break, or fall break, we didn't have spring break, should stay in effect?
We haven't really seen that come to effect yet, so because it was passed the week right before fall break, so we will see that in the coming weeks.
Okay.
And we're planning on like doing this more regularly, so I'll talk about that if it does affect us significantly.
Any further questions, comments on the cabinet report from the Assistant Treasurer?
Can I just like to say that we want to try and make this a regular thing every 2 weeks for the Treasurer's Office. Yeah.
Any further comments, questions for Assistant Treasurer Shake, Services Coordinator Porter?
That sounds like a good thing. Good luck doing it. Cool. Good
Thanks for
idea.
your support.
You're welcome.
Services Court.
Any further questions or comments? All right, seeing none further, we'll be moving on to the next item on the agenda, which is a cabinet report from Administrative Coordinator Hill.
Yeah, just send in your announcements when I send out that email, please. All love.
Any questions for AC Hill? Any comments? All right. Seeing none further, we'll be moving on to the next item on the agenda, which is a cabinet report from VPSA EPS.
So that's what I did before break. Then I'm giving an oral report. I had a good break. Happy to be back. Holla.
All right. Any further questions for VPSA EPS? Comments? All right. Seeing none further, we'll be moving on to the next item, which is a cabinet report from the Vice President of Academic Affairs, VPAA Galnerova.
Yeah, so the cabinet report should be for now or like the 3 weeks back? Like all of
Whatever
it?
you want.
Then, okay. So since we haven't talked for a long time, I hired the JUTCO judges and we trained them as well. I attended several curriculum council meetings, held office hours, met with execs, met with the Institute for Global Engagement people, because we sit on the advisory board. That was very interesting. We hanged out with the trustees. Then there was a lot of the building meetings. We had focus groups for the furniture, which is super exciting because everyone's going to be using that next year, 2019. What is now? In 2 years. Yeah, I had met with a student group who are interested in Africana studies, which sounds super exciting. Yeah. And yeah, if you have any questions, ask me. Oh yeah, if someone's interested, answering like 6 questions about what do you think that the center is and stuff like that, I would really appreciate that. If there's volunteers, yeah. Would you like to do that, Max? Yeah, questions about like, what do you imagine under the word of center? Center. Rosenfield Center. And different other centers.
Are there any questions or comments? Yes.
Just for clarification.
Is that not on? Yes. We got another one.
Just for clarification, who's the JUTCO chair? You said you hired the JUTCO person?
What do you mean?
Like the first thing you said, you hired a JUTCO person.
JUTCO judges and trained JUTCO judges.
Oh, the JUTCO judges have been trained?
Yep.
Oh, okay. Who are the JUTCO judges?
I'm not sure if that should be like said out loud.
Oh, that's like not a thing you can say?
I'm not sure if I like cannot say it, but like I would prefer. I don't think it's relevant. Yeah.
Okay.
Why?
That's all I got.
Yeah.
Are there any other questions or comments? No, seeing none further, we'll be moving on to the next item on the agenda, which is a cabinet report from the ACE co-chairs. So, ACE co-chair Mystic.
I'm sorry, this is a while ago. We met with Aces and Michael Sims. We talk about like what happened the week before, what we were looking forward to, like waltz and winter waltz and drag show, in terms of like making sure that we had enough people signed up for those events early on, because they've been difficult to get people to sign up before in the past. So it says here we were looking for someone, but we found someone. Senator Logan is going to be the co-Winter Waltz chair, along with, Claudia and myself. And the reason why we decided to do that, just because it was so late in the semester, and like the process of that was like very difficult, and we just decided to do that for just this semester. But we are looking for people to be on our committee. Look out for that email, because we would love to hear your opinions and voices about what Winter Waltz will look like.
Any further question for ACE Co-Chair Mystic? Yes, Services Coordinator Porter.
That's so exciting. Congrats.
Thank you.
To all of you.
Thank you.
Any further questions or comments? Yes, VPSA EPS.
That's okay.
So where you gonna have it? This is gonna be in.
To be determined.
You don't know yet.
As in, we're not telling y'all yet. We don't, we still in discussion about it.
So y'all don't know is the answer.
Exactly.
No,
Do you
I
have
don't
anything to
suggest-
contribute?
Me? Hell no.
Oh, yeah, come join the committee.
President
Look out
White.
for that email.
No.
Yeah, can we get a mic to President White, please? That one's dead. All right. All right. Sure, I should.
Personal delivery. All right, my point of order was that that was not a question or anything about the report, and so I just thought it was inappropriate to be having that conversation here.
Thank you. So with that, are there any further questions for ACE Co-Chair Mystic? All right, seeing none, we'll be moving on to the next item on the agenda, which is a cabinet report from Diversity and Outreach Coordinator Bogus, who's not here. Is
I can
anybody
take
going
any
to be-
questions that y'all might have for Hannah.
Any questions? Yes, Services Coordinator Porter. All right, we need to disperse
Please
these.
pass the mic.
The suicide prevention workshop, can you expand on that a little bit more? We got cut off by the time that that was going to be announced.
Yeah, so it was basically like a QPR training for student organization leaders to raise awareness about suicide so that they know how to handle it. Handle it being like awareness and prevention and so forth, and supporting members of their student organization that may be going through something like that personally or be supporting someone else in that situation.
Senator Feldberg-Bannatyne.
I'm just curious, what does QPR stand for?
Question, persuade, refer.
Thank you.
Great. Senator Ercolani.
Can I just add that as someone who went to the last session of that and thinks that it's a very valuable thing to campus, there is another session tomorrow at, I believe, 7:30, and I don't know if DOC Bogus is allowing others to attend, but if you are at all interested or think this is a valuable addition to your community, I would highly recommend reaching out to her and seeing if it's something you can do.
Yeah, I would also like to add, if anyone wants this training, it's something that the college offers, so like we could organize one for this group of people, or if you wanted one personally, but we didn't want to do one for like all senators or all delegates or anything like that, like any student can have access to this information.
Any further questions or comments about the cabinet report for the Diversity and Outreach Coordinator? Any emails can be sent to just doc@grinnell.edu. So with that, seeing none further, oh wait, no, Administrative Coordinator Hill.
Quinn, when was the suicide prevention workshop tomorrow?
If I'm not mistaken, it is at 7:30 in Noyce 1023.
Sounds good.
Anything further? No, with that, we'll be moving on to the next item on the agenda, which is a cabinet report. Mine just died. Yeah, sorry, it just died again. We're down a couple mics. Thank you all for your patience. With that, we'll be moving on to the next report, which is from the services coordinator.
Yeah, so good stuff. I was super excited before fall break. And I told you guys how many people were fed, so that was cool from the Fall Fest service activity. Currently, I'm working on figuring out what to do for the November SGA cab service activity. I really don't know. We'll see. If anyone has any ideas or wants to get involved, please email me at services@grinnell.edu. Additionally, blood drive is coming up, another one, in 2 weeks. And next week we'll be tabling for it. If anyone would like to help table for it, that would be a huge help. So I will send that information over to I'm not going to say that, over to Max, and he can send it to all of you. The blood drive is on November 4, 2 Tuesdays from now. Yeah. Additionally, Fog Fast is coming up. If anyone's interested in figuring out a place to donate money to the Fog Fast funds, roll through to Services SPC Committee on Sundays, and you can be a part of that discussion. Yep, just doing services stuff. As always, we didn't have a meeting on Sunday. We all took that break, but we will have a meeting this Sunday, and it will be lively. The end.
Any questions for Services Coordinator Porter? All right, seeing none, we'll be moving on to the next item on the agenda, which is a cabinet report from the Treasurer, Treasurer Steckel. Can we get a mic down? Thank you.
Hi. So, in terms of things that I've been doing, I don't have anything to add beyond my report and beyond what Assistant Treasurer Sheikh already said. Things that I am doing in the future, I'm just starting to right now, is budget for next semester. 'Tis the season. So if you haven't already heard from me, you will in the next few days. If you're a major budgetary shareholder, I mean. So, yeah, anyone have any questions?
Any questions for Treasurer Steckel?
Ooh, one more thing. If you want to talk to me just about like things you want different about the SGA budget and how it's structured, if you have any feedback just in general, this is a good time to talk to me about that, like big picture stuff. Individually, I have office hours.
Senator Robelski.
I'm just wondering, what's an institutional shadow budget?
Yeah, that's like a worst case scenario kind of thing. It was brought to our attention that we didn't have one, and it makes sense for us to be prepared just in case funding gets cut to SGA as a whole. So I made that. If you want to see it, you can.
Ooh, very much.
Really? You want me to email it to you?
That would be great. Thank
Cool.
you so much.
Okay.
Any other questions for Treasurer Steckel? All right, seeing none further, we will be moving on to the next item on the agenda, which is the senator reports. So we'll just be going through individually by senator. So with that, first we'll be going to Senator Robelski.
Hey all, not sure how many of you kept up with my senator project or cared, but originally the senator project was going to be something with Services Coordinator Porter, probably encouraging some sort of a service handbook for local organizations. Due to a variety of things, including the existence of this already with the CLS, sorry.
Also not really.
CLS, and so as a result, Treasurer Steckles and Services Coordinator Porter pointed out the need for somebody to go through and tally how much money we've been spending on food, and so that's what I'll be doing now.
Any questions for Senator Robelski? All right. Yes, President White.
What's your projected timeline?
Ideally, before the week typically known as Hell Week, I'll have at least through last year done.
Any further questions? All right, seeing none. Oh, yes, VPA Galnerova. We have a mic that we can get down. Yes.
Just the report's not really like comprehensive. Can you say just like on average, like how much time did you spend per week on the project?
Yeah, so the project just got assigned to me the Sunday before our last campus council, and due to it being mid-sems, I did not have the time to work on it in the past week.
Okay, thank you.
Further questions? All right, seeing none further, we'll be moving on to the next senator, which is Senator Feldberg-Bannatyne.
Hey everybody, lots of good stuff has been happening since I made this report. One of the things you'll see is I met with Andrea Connor, actually with Morgan, who was in here earlier, and we had a very fruitful discussion about the future of the voice box in terms of space. Brief bit of history, and I'll keep it really short. There used to be a lot more space, now there isn't. So we're looking where this Center for Activism can be. The idea for a themed house for social justice came up, and it's very possible that in the coming years, the voice box could be moved to then, and then, well, coming years is in next year, and then hopefully the Spaces Committee, which is meeting soon or just has met and is yet to get back to me, will be hearing the case to potentially knock down a couple walls that have yet to be built in the blueprints for the new ARH building and have it be in there. So that's very exciting. Additionally, we are able to order $240 worth of supplies for the voice box, so I have that all stocked up now. And I'm working on a timeline with Michael Sims and FM to make sure it can get all cleaned up and can be more functional for groups to come and meet in the space. And so those things that we just ordered can be really well utilized, and it can be more functional. And it's all very exciting. And if you have any other questions, please reach out to me, email at Feldberg or in person. And I'd love to talk to them, talk about them to you and all your friends.
Are there any questions for Senator Feldberg-Bannatyne? Any comments, questions? All right, seeing none, we'll be moving on to the next senator, who is Senator Ercolani.
I only have one thing to add to my report, and that is to all the senators of Campus Council. You should have received an email from me at some point Sunday after fall break that has a comment link to a Google Doc that has Senator Doudna and my senator project in it, and if you could look that over and shoot us an email back about anything you'd like to change, or your simple sign off on it so we can get it to Reform Committee as soon as possible, we'd appreciate that. Thank you very much.
Any questions for Senator Ercolani? Yes, President White.
Yep, just wanted to let you know that you don't need anyone's approval to bring anything to Reform Committee.
Actually, because it is a constitutional amendment, we need 2/3 of campus council senators, like as an approval mechanism, or 10% of the student body, or President Kington, if I'm not mistaken.
President White.
I meant to bring it to Reform Committee. Yeah, like anyone, any student, anytime, any place, anywhere, to Reform Committee. Mm.
All right, are there any other questions for Senator Ercolani? All right, seeing none further, we'll be moving on to the next senator, who is Senator Samra. Who is over here. Can we pass a mic down? Thank you.
Hi, so my senator project is I want a vending machine in North Campus, and Weiss wants me to expand it to East, so I think I might incorporate that, and I think I've been trying to check if that's possible. I think the way I'm going to do it is do a student initiative. So I think within the next week, week and a half, I'm going to start getting signatures. Other than that, I've just been sending out mini minutes. Me and Evan held our first hall council. It was like a senator meet and greet, and we started planning the next one. We want to do something with pals if anybody wants to come to that. We're playing Grinnell, and I can let you know when it's happening if you're interested. Yeah.
Are there any questions? Yes.
Hi, so just with the student initiative route, unfortunately, we are in the middle of voting on student initiatives, so you would have to wait until next semester to do
I thought
a-
you could
a
submit
new
one at any
submission.
time.
What's
That's
that?
what, I went to one of the meetings and they said you could submit one at any time with 200 signatures.
Can you? Wow. Oh, that makes me look bad. Okay. Then great.
Yeah.
And so does that? So this is the summer. Does that mean there's another election?
Yeah, so the student initiative process, thank you for bringing up. Antonia is one of our new stipend co-chairs, so welcome. So we're currently in an election. If you have not voted, please vote and remind your constituents to do so. So we need at least 50% of the student body to be voting on these initiatives for any of them to be valid. So Student Initiative Committee runs the process to be like, hey, everyone, we're collecting student initiatives now, but anyone can submit an initiative at any time. The threshold's just a little higher, so instead of requiring 100 signatures from students, you need 200, and then after that, it's the normal process. So yes, if there were to be another initiative at any other time through the semester, there would be another election, assuming that the candidate gets 200 signatures on a petition.
All right, are there any other questions? Yes, VPSA EPS. Can we get a mic to VPSA EPS, please?
Have you talked to dining services about, because they're the ones who run the vending machine, so have you talked to them about just getting another one?
I can. I have not yet.
You should do that or go talk to John Kalkburner.
Okay.
Or go talk to me. And then I could go talk to those people.
Any other questions? All right, seeing none, we'll be moving on to the next report, which is from Senator Doudna.
Hello, okay. Yep, I worked on my senator project with Quinn, like we said. The only other thing I really want to add is we had our first hall council on the 7th, and it went really well. We had like 25, 30 people show up, which is way more than we expected. So yeah, and we used all our food, so it was good.
Any questions? All right, seeing none further, we'll be moving on to the next report, which is from Senator Logan.
I think that the report in here is like not the most updated one, but regardless, I don't really have anything to add in terms of what I've been doing that's relevant to all of you. The one thing that I wanted to bring up is that I'm on Dining Services Committee with Quinn and Khalil, and I've been hearing obviously lots of things about the arrangement of the dining hall. If you hear anything about people's concerns, please direct them to us, let us know. Yeah, that's all I have.
Any questions? All right, yes, Senator Doudna.
I guess just while you're on that topic, could you just give us like a quick answer so we could answer other people's questions on why the dining hall looks like that now?
I cannot give you an answer because I haven't been, but I'm sure one.
President White, please. Can we pass the mic down to President White? Or no, to VPSA EPS.
Mike, so it's my fault. So one of my initiatives of VPSA was to work combat belonging in the D hall, and one of the proponents of that was changing up the seating in the D hall. So I gave the initial idea. I did not tell them to do it in that way. It just happened to be that way. But the initial was me. If you want to quote me, you can quote me. So yeah, so the idea came from me wanting to combat belonging. And the reason for that is last year when, what's her name? I don't know the lady's name who did this research. She did some research about belonging, and one of the biggest places students didn't feel like they belonged on this campus was in the D hall. And so I came up with a bunch of ideas of how to combat them. One of them was changing the seating. Another one is topic tables, which are becoming soon. And then some other was like some posters about some of the information they had from the research, which is all qualitative. So like it's people talking rather than just numbers.
Yeah,
President White.
Thank you. I just wanted to like piggyback on that. So the person he's referring to, her name is Georgiana Robinson. She works in the Grinnell College Department of Institutional Research, and there is an extensive qualitative studies, like interviews done with people, Grinnell students who chose to leave the college. And one of the themes throughout that was they felt lonely. Like a lot of students on campus felt lonely from research that that office has conducted. And the dining hall was a particularly like heavy area, and it was a theme throughout the research as a place that perpetuates that loneliness. So when Khalil says combat belonging, he means combat loneliness and like foster a sense of belonging in our community. So I think this was just like an effort towards moving towards that. We're also going to be implementing topic tables soon, so stay tuned for that. But I think it's been evident that like that policy change, if you will, had some unintended consequences that are really important that we address and think about how we can foster belonging without making people who want to sit by themselves feel pressured to sit with people.
Are there any further questions? Yes.
I figure while we're on it, I might as well bring up like the biggest things that have come up for me, because I've got a lot of information in like some closed Grinnell groups or whatever, and you guys like might not know everything. The biggest things I've heard have been accessibility. So in terms of social anxiety, hearing, stuff like that, it's hard when you don't have an option in the main area to sit alone. Another thing that has come up is the size of the walkways can be difficult to navigate. Obviously personal preference, and then I've had some dining hall workers who have said it's just harder to clean with everything like less compact. And now I'm done.
All right, are there any other questions? No, seeing none further, we'll be moving on. Just a reminder that we did set the time to adjourn at 9:30 and it is 9:21. But with that, we'll be moving on to Senator Taylor.
Hey, yeah, I really don't have anything to add. I guess Green Fund, Dev and I are working together to collect data for postering, and that's going splendidly. Also, we are in the process of beginning to look into bringing back bike sharing. So if you have any more questions about that, you can just ask us. But no promises.
Are there any questions? All right. Yes, President White.
Yeah, so I just noticed that you mentioned that your project reluctantly turned into data collection. So I was just wondering if you could expand on that and just kind of like let you know if you feel any type of way about your project, consider pursuing another project that you like, because I just think it's important for everyone to be making a contribution they feel really good about.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I feel good about it now.
VPSA EPS.
Yo, you said bikes, right? The bike share thing. So if you want to do it, I can help you with that. I've heard that the FM's got a room with all the old ass bikes in it.
Yeah, I've heard the same too.
So send me an email and we can go figure that out.
Any further questions? All right, seeing none, we'll be moving on to the next, which is Senator Farran.
Yeah, so this report doesn't really talk about my senator project, but what I'm basically working on is replacing the laundry machines in the main laundry room. And the way I'm doing that so far is just like keeping in touch with Khalil, and he's contacting the people who are supposed to be in charge of checking the machines and replacing them. And what I mostly want to do this semester is like focus on improving the facilities in South Campus. Mainly, like there were a couple of students who complained about not having kettles and toasters in the kitchens. So I'm gonna be doing that through a student initiative, like the 200 signatures. And then there are a couple of people who feel like there should be more water filters on South Campus as well. Yeah, so that's going to be the focus of my senatorship or whatever.
Are there any questions? Yes.
So in talking about laundry, I know Quinn has a student initiative regarding laundry in project houses, and one of the things tech committee is working on is like getting those systems for laundry. So we've been working with Corey Hammond and the guy who works in charge of work orders, but we've been discussing with them like It's below Corey. No, not Rick. I can't remember his name, but he's the guy who deals with work orders. But anyway, we like brought forth like whatever the funding plans are for that system. So like if you want to talk to Quinn and I, like we've already been like working with these people, and we'd be happy to like work together with you to like make sure that that can happen as well.
Any further questions? All right, seeing none further, we'll be moving on to Senator Stallings. Can we get a mic down to Senator Stallings, please? Thank you very much.
Hi. This is outside of all of the general stuff that senators do. I've been having a couple of interesting times of like hanging out with my constituents. Had a couple people like actually reach out and like want to talk, which has been really cool. But besides that, I have my hands in several different things right now as far as what I want to do for my senator project. And given that I'm a very indecisive person, it's been going pretty well, given that I'm doing a lot, but not really getting anything done. However, I have been working with a couple of community sponsors and businesses, and also just a couple of like people who live within the town to do like a community building project where we're trying to get like a public open mic in mid-November at Saints, which could be pretty interesting. I also recently have started the process of like trying to create a resource booklet, a page on the website, and general meetings throughout the off-campus studying process that are targeting low-income students, because I've had a lot of trouble myself, and I really want to see that look better in the future, and I've been having several meetings about that. So if you have anything to mention about that or any comments that you would like to offer, feel free to send me an email. Yep.
Any further questions? All right, seeing none, we'll be moving on to Senator Nola. Will we pass the mic to, yes.
So yeah, there's all up there, and just more on that stuff. I've been also trying to fix the water coolers, the water fountains on the East Campus dorms. Like Radji's had a few broken ones, so those are supposed to be actually fixed sometime this week. And then David talked about the bike thing, and the rest is all up there, yeah.
Any questions? All right, seeing none, we'll be moving on to Senator Bolster, who is not here. So then we'll be moving on to Senator Ochoa.
Okay, so what I've been working on is that it took me a while to figure out what I wanted my senator project to be, but I've decided that I've realized, like, especially on the weekends when a lot of people go partying, and when it comes to when they come back to the dorms and you're taking care of friends, usually what I realized is like a lot of students don't know what to do, or like their first thought is all we can do is just like call your CA. And what I'm working on is going and getting in contact with Jen Jacobson to go and talk to her about other options of writing a one-page doc or two-page docs I can put in like multiple bathrooms, specifically starting with East, and if I can, putting it in other bathrooms as well throughout campus. So then that way, then students can go when they're taking care of friends to have a resource to look onto that can give like specifics on like, okay, if you're dealing with a friend who's vomiting, when you put them into bed, make sure like put them on their side, stay with them, and other little tips and tricks. So, yeah, that's what I've been working on.
Any questions? Yes. Can we get a mic, please?
This isn't regarding the senator's report. If we adjourn at a certain time, are the other items on the agenda that we have not yet reached automatically postponed to the next session of Campus Council, or are they lost into the ether?
They'll be carried over to next council. All right, are there any other questions? Seeing none further, we'll be moving on to Senator Gandotra. Can we get a mic down as quickly as possible, please? Thank you.
Yeah, so I've been working with concerts committee, and that's been pretty fun, and I've learned a lot about sound and everything. And my senator project, so the main Yonker door, which faces the Spanish House, closes at 9 p.m. every day, and maybe just on weekends, but my senator project was focusing on that, trying to change that, so that at least on weekends, it could stay open for 24 hours. which that would be nice. Yeah.
Are there any questions? Yes, VPAA Gelnerova. Can we get a mic quickly, please?
Just gonna ask, how many hours did you clock into for the time thinking about your senator project?
0.
Okay, thank you.
All right.
Volunteering, nice.
All right, thank you all, but now we have reached our time limit, so with that, Campus Council is now adjourned. Thank you all for coming out tonight, and the remaining senator reports will be delivered next week. So thank you all. So also, if you could all bring your name tags and your clickers and put them back where you got them, that'd be nice. Also, yeah, if you have the opportunity